Which bureaus should you be researching? Today, I'm going to answer that question and give you a list of the best to the worst. That's right, this was actually a comment that came in on one of the posts I made asking for video ideas. Someone said it, a whole bunch of people liked it. Apparently, it's a popular idea, so let's do it. Understanding the Bureau. There's quite a few boats in here, and they take a long time to research. And if you want to kind of boost it along, playing your daily games, it takes a long time. It's a big effort to get one of these ships, which leads to the topic that you really don't want to go out, research these vessels for 3 or 6 months, or maybe even 9 months, get it and find out that it's kind of dog water. So that is why we're going to break down the best to the worst in the Bureau. This might end up triggering people. I just want them to know that are going to be triggered. I really don't care. I'm just going to tell you exactly how it is. Please save your comment. I had a great game with the Burgone one time. I broke 275,000 damage. I really don't care. You can have a great game in anything. But is it a great ship? If the ship is mediocre, I don't think it's worth your time and effort to put in to unlock it. That's just the way I feel. I'm sure there's people out there that don't feel that way. People love wasting their time. The 1 and 2 seat for Legendary tier Bureau projects to unlock, the best 2 battleships, undoubtedly, Yamato, Conqueror. By and large, those are the best 2. You can research any of them you want. They do not do what these 2 do. Yamato, pretty self-explanatory. Largest guns in the game, 23-second reload, really good range, big hit point pool, lots of armor. Yamato does exactly what it's supposed to do. It's big, it's slow, it overmatches, it shoots a long ways. It's kind of the upper pinnacle when it comes to all battleships in the game. Yamato is like right there at the number 1 seat. That being said, Conqueror is a little bit different. Yes, it's got big guns. Yes, it's got good range. It doesn't have much armor. It's kind of squishy. And it's really squishy. If you get caught with your pants down, the whole school's going to see. You can get blapped and removed. But if you learn how to play it, it's got some of the best HE in the game. Plus, it's got super heals on top of that. Yes, you could pick up the AL Commander and have like a little better fire build, but you don't need it. Just out of the box, Conqueror, HE, incredible. And if you spec it into building for accuracy and for AP, the AP slaps. The AP is so good. But like I said, it's really squishy. And you can get really hurt by other battleships. Burgone, honestly, I've played it. Not worth your time. I'm sure there's people out there that love it. I don't. I don't love it. It's inaccurate. Doesn't hit hard. I don't like it at all. On top of that, there's nothing better than playing something that has 2 guns in the front with little armor and a Yamato just coming along and breaking the guns off your boat. And then what do? Sail around in reverse? Karfirst. Most battle impact, whatever that means. Does Karfirst have decent guns? Yes. Does Karfirst have a lot of secondaries? Yes. Does Karfirst have a huge hit point pool? Yes. Does it have a good hydro? Yes. Are Karfirst mostly useless? Yes. This is a boat you play for fun, not to be competitive, not to try and win games. Out of all the people that I've played with and all the battleship mains, no one has ever said that is the best battleship in the game, hands down, because it's not. Can you pull off some cool stuff with it? Yes. Can you have fun with it? Sure. Is running a full secondary build a complete meme? Yes. But at that point, why not just play Schlieffen? Because Schlieffen's like the better version of Karfirst. People have a skewed view of Karfirst from PC, because on PC it's a beast. But then here it's not at all. Karfirst, pass. Unless you just want to have fun with it, pass. Montana. Love the idea of Montana. Hate the implementation of it. Why do I say that? Because it works a lot better on PC than it does here in Legends. Why? Because engagement ranges. PC, Montana can go out on the flank, sail around in the backfield, stay unspotted, take pot shots like a sniper, like Chris Kyle, and it can do really well because you can wait in the darkness and wait for people to go dark and they don't think about you, and then you fire, hello, catch them broadside, catch them off guard. That doesn't happen in Legends. You're spotted 25/7. On top of that, it's only 16-inch guns. It's tier 6 and tier 7 guns at Legendary tier. the amount of armor that you're going to be going up against, it just doesn't cut it. Montana? Pass. Now we're on to cruisers. We have a lot more variety here. The 4 best cruisers in the entire game at legendary tier is very simple. Des Moines, Worcester, Mino, Colbert. Those 4, boom, done, there you go. Research any one of the 4, you will not be disappointed. I don't think you can get Colbert right now, but one day maybe. Mino, super good. Hits like a truck. Fires all the time. You can sit in your smoke and be hunky-dory and happy. Worcester, disgusting DPM. I don't even know what the DPM is, but it might be the highest in the entire game. That thing fires and it pins everything. It's got quarter pin HE. It pins everything. 3, 4, 5, 6K HE salvos, totally in the realm of possibility. Oh yeah, and you fire every like 4 seconds. Oh yeah, and your fire chance is stupid high. Oh yeah, and you've got really good armor. Worcester, really good. Top tier ship. Des Moines, very similar. Bigger guns. Pretty decent armor. Good radar. Des Moines, really good. Top tier ship. Can't go wrong with it. Now these are the questionable ones here. These are questionable. Alaska, questionable. Okay? Stalingrad, questionable. Because you have to have 2 factors come together to make Alaska and Stalingrad really work. 1, you got to have the right team setup. The enemy team has to do the right stuff. 2, the boat has to want you to play it that moment. What I mean by that is the dispersion out of both those ships can be extremely questionable. At least with Alaska, you can load HE and throw HE. At least, right? You've got something. You can maybe get some fires on some battleships. Maybe if it's not that accurate, that maybe goes in favor of HE. Its AP performance went down a lot because they nerfed the accuracy for some reason. So Alaska, it's questionable, but I would take Alaska over Stalingrad 10 times out of 10 every single day. My personal opinion, I think Stalingrad might be one of the worst cruisers in the entire game. It's so limited. It's so limited. Sure, you've got AP railguns, but it's not that accurate. And most people in this game don't sail around broadside, which is the only time Stalingrad can really take advantage of somebody. And then if you get that opportunity and you fire and you get 1 citadel and 4 of them hit the water and you get a ricochet off the antenna, it's like, wow, you just got 6K damage. Congratulations. That would be a different story if you fired and you got 5 citadels. You took a chunk of their HP, but that just doesn't happen often enough to warrant the time it takes to research a ship like this. Stalingrad, hard pass. The only other cruiser that I didn't talk about is the Napoli. Number 1, I haven't played it. Number 2, I don't want to play it. Number 3, I'd pass. Unless you really like that whole quick maneuvering stuff, you like that fast rudder and little smoke screen and stuff, I'd pass. Because SAP in this game is underwhelming as hell. And every time I've gone up against one of these Napolis, I have neutered them. Like they weren't even like a factor. Like, oh, they hit me with SAP a couple times. And I was like, oh, there goes like 5K. Ooh, boom, they're dead. Maybe you could make this work. Maybe you could take a Napoli to a flank and catch a whole bunch of idiots just sitting there as they bow tank, as they fire at somebody else who's bow tanking. I don't know. So far, I have yet to see Napoli do anything that's like, wow, that thing's amazing. So for that reason, I'm going to pass. Now let's go on to destroyers. These are not my favorite things in the game. I don't like them. I think they're boring. They can be fun on rare occasion. The only one I don't have in this lineup is honestly one of the strongest. And that's just because I can't be bothered to even open up my bureau once a month. But I have played it, and if it's me picking, if I had to pick one of 5 destroyers out there, I'm going to pick the Daring all day. The Daring is nasty. I mean, it's really good. Between the hydro, the smokes, the DPM, everything about the Daring is really nice, and it's really fun to play. I can't tell you when I had it how many 200+ K games I had. I didn't land a single torpedo. I was just driving around firing my guns. Having the ability to just disappear on people and then just farm for 20, 30 seconds and then pop back out and keep shooting and then go behind a rock and disappear. And then when those fires get damage con, you start firing again and then your smoke's already back. It's really, really good. And then when you go to fight a DD, you have a hydro. You should never take a torp. You can see their torps coming. If they sit in their smoke screen, you can roll right up on them, hydro them in their smoke screen. It's a great ship. The next down from that, in my opinion, is probably going to be the Kleber and the Gearing. I would almost put them hand in hand because they are two kind of different ships, but the Kleber just brings something different to the table. Since they neutered the torpedo range, which needed to happen, because they come back in like 60 seconds, and they're really decent torps. You just don't have any range on those torps, but you have the ability to have main battery reload booster, and that is where Kleber gets really spicy, because Kleber can just go blap, 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 blap for 15 seconds, and any DD that you're going up and fighting, he's going to be going, ow, 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 ow. That thing hurts. When you have a main battery reload booster, that thing hurts. And then on top of that, the chance to set fire. When it comes to fighting a battleship or a cruiser, just trying to get a little fire going on them. Yes, you don't have any way to disengage. That's where you got to play a little more safer. You got to use islands. You got to use your range. You know, if you fire and then you turn out and then you go dark just because they're no longer in your main battery range. It all works. All I'm saying, this thing, pretty good. And Gearing obviously is pretty good too. Gearing's a gunboat. It's a Fletcher ×2, or technically it's like a Sumner ×2. It's a lot bigger than the Sumner. That's why a lot of people think the Sumner is actually better, the Tier 8. But still having, 12, 15 kilometer torpedoes that are on a 2-minute reload, having a gunboat platform, having the American smoke. It's just hard to go wrong. Shimakaze, Scum of the Earth. Scum of the Earth boat here. It's really good. It's really nasty torpedoes. They reload at a pretty decent click, like 90 seconds, 100 seconds, something like that. The torpedoes hit insanely hard. I don't feel like I even need to talk about this one anymore. I feel like all of you out there watching know what a pain in the ass this thing is. That brings us to Cab. And I can't stand this thing. I can't stand the Cab. I can't stand playing it. I know some people have made it work. And then I've been told, I need to upgrade another commander to like 16.3 or something to really access the fire potential that this thing has to offer. I can't stand that playstyle. Like, this thing is the size of Rhode Island. Yeah, sure, it's got good armor, and supposedly it's got good fire chance if you want to put all the resources into the commander to get him up there. But then you're not playing it. It's no thank you. For me, it's just a big no thank you. I don't enjoy it. I don't like playing it. And maybe that's because I don't have my commander high enough, but I just don't want to put resources into something that I know that I'm not going to like. I've seen it played really well, and it's not for me. Last but not least, I will mention the carriers. I've played both of them. You have to understand, one is a noob carrier and one is a pro carrier. If you're a noob carrier player, that's the one you want. Right, you can fly into flak all day. You won't get deplaned. You won't have that much battle impact. You don't care. You're a noob. That's your noob carrier. If you're looking to be a really good carrier player, that's the one you want. The Midway is literally designed for good carrier players that don't throw their planes away. So you will be benefited by really good torpedoes, pretty darn good bombs. Your planes are a lot more squishy. You can't just take a full squadron and send them into, 3 battleships. You'll lose every single one of them. You will be deplaned at the end of 6 minutes. And then you will effectively have nothing to do the rest of the game. But if you can be a really smart carrier player, Midway has a huge impact potential. That's going to wrap up this video. I hope this helps some of you. If it does, leave a comment down below. I'd really appreciate it. Until next time, everyone, have a great day. Peace!